And today we're going to talk about how you can be the woman who gets everything she wants, everything she desires. And how do we start doing this? Okay. This is so fundamental to everything that I talk about. As truly starts with how are you showing up in your life? If you're showing up every day as being a good girl, people pleasing, and putting everyone first and trying to be selfless, it's like somehow that's the goal, to be selfless, to be seen as good, to be seen as worthy. But you notice how I'm saying seen. When you just already accept that you are, there is nothing to do or be or even work hard. You just simply are. So you're not going to get what you want, okay? If you're putting everyone else first and yourself last. When you're living for others, it's obvious you're not living for yourself, but it's not like you're consciously choosing to do this. Most likely you're not. If you're stuck in people pleasing patterns, it's probably just a pattern that you've done, and that's how you've been showing up. So that's how you keep showing up. But it took me having a few painful situations for me to realize, oh, wow, other people are first. Oh, wow, this is at my detriment. Oh, wow, this isn't serving me. And then when I really started to understand that it's not helping me, it's hurting me, then I was able to kind of just wake up. And it wasn't until I just realized, no, this is my job. It's my job to take care of myself, that I realized it was my job all along. And I shouldn't be looking for my partner to take care of me and put all that pressure on him. It was my job. And to feel good was my job. And to be happy was my job. And then when I realized it was my job, there was no shame, there was no guilt, there was no feeling selfish. Now I embrace the idea of selfishness. But we have to step out of that box, that tiny little space that we've been living in, keeping ourselves small. We have to step outside that box. And using terms like selfish really challenge us to get out of our comfort zone. So I like embracing that word selfish because to me, it used to feel dirty and bad and wrong. And it's not dirty, bad, and wrong. Everyone is self involved. So if you're selfless and giving and loving and kind, you're not self involved. So using a word like selfish is helpful so you can start becoming self focused and start really putting you first and everything you want and desire, because that's the only way you're going to get it. So, what's your big why? What's your why? What's getting you up every single day? Mine used to be my relationship, making it as best as possible. Like it came full circle right back around to me. And then it's I want to be able to love myself so deeply and be so devoted to myself that I can truly know my worth and know I'm deserving so that I can be that in order to get that. So, what this means is I'm being the person that is going to get those things inside. I'm not just expecting it somehow, I'm just going to attract these things if I don't believe them about myself. I'm embodying it first so that I can attract those things into my life. And then once you notice, okay, what's really motivating me? What is it I truly want, like deeply want and deeply desire, and make those a priority? Because if you don't make those a priority, then you're going to do what you've always done and it's just going to be automatic. So my automatic was my relationship. I focused on that too much and I ignored myself, and I focused on my kids too much and not on myself. And when I did that, of course, I was neglecting myself. Of course, I was betraying myself. Or you're here, self abandonment. What it is, you're giving up important pieces of yourself, your boundaries, your wants, your needs. And you're saying, okay, other people, my kids, my relationship, my guy, my family, my peers, my friends, my job is more important than me. And I say, fuck that. You're the most important person. You are. You truly, truly are. And when you start showing up and embodying that, literally everything changes because you change on the inside. Your life changes from the inside out. Isn't that freaking awesome? Okay. And I know 1,000% as I have lived this. If you're looking for love, the relationship, the happiness, the peace, the calm, okay, until you start being able to give that to yourself from the inside, you're never going to get it. You're never going to get it by looking for that guy, the relationship, the job to fill you up. You're just going to keep getting the lack until you can truly feel that on the inside. And then when you feel it on the inside, it grows from there and you start attracting those things. You pull them to you. Whatever it is you want to do, there's something motivating you. And is it to help your life and serve yourself, or is it serving others? Because you can only do one. You can either start investing in your own happiness and well-being, or you're just investing in other people's happiness and well-being. And instead of always worrying about, well, what other people are doing and what other people are going to think and what's going to happen, this and that, because that's trying to work everyone else out, you're just doing it every moment. And this is an ongoing process. You're doing what feels good to you. You're doing what feels right to you. You are your North Star, not other people. And that was such a huge, huge realization for me, that my life needs to be focused on me, not anyone else. Being selfless should never, ever be the goal. And being selfless, and don't beat yourself up if you feel that way, because I felt that way. Just realize that, and that's what we're taught to do, especially as moms, as women, we're taught that selflessness is a good thing. And it's not a good thing. It means you don't have a self. Your wants, needs, preferences, desires, you know what? It's like they don't exist. You're only there to serve other people, but that's just bullshit. When we start transitioning from being a people pleaser, a giver, and being selfless, okay, and start being fiercely our feminine selves, okay, this is about, instead of shrinking, we are speaking up. Instead of bracing, we are expanding. And instead of surviving, we are thriving, okay? So the most powerful thing a woman has is her intuition. But we can't tap into that, and we can't hear that in our inner wisdom and our inner voice if we're not connected to ourselves, if we're living in our heads versus in our body. Okay. But when you start to focus on yourself, you can shift that to start paying attention to your body. It's such important work. Like, we really live in our heads all the time, and there's no way to access your intuition and your inner wisdom if you're just stuck in your head. Okay. So, and you can get everything you want by start learning to connect to yourself, listen to your inner wisdom, okay, and your intuition. You can. But we can't do this with our heads. And okay, well, if you guys don't have any questions, thank you so much for being here. Check that info in below. It's going to be so powerful and just so helpful in your life. And all right, I hope you guys have an amazing day and continue to have an amazing holiday. And I'm here if you need me. Okay. Love you guys. Bye.